I'm going to give you some quick tips on how to do your marketing if you want to take your business international. A lot of people are in local markets and they've got certain types of ways they advertise for their business, but when you go international, you might want to change that method. I'm going to give you some tips and ideas on how I've actually evolved over the years, because I'm almost 69 years old. I'm one of the few people probably still working now that's gone through a long transition of different ways of advertising. A lot of people my age are either have retired or in the process of retiring, and they've never used means like YouTube videos, okay? And I'm going to show you the differences on marketing, some of which you can still use today, that you can do international. And then I'm going to show you the ones that have actually, leapfrogged in the future using, means like YouTube video, and how this can really help just project your business way out in the future and how to really grow it. I actually started in business back around 1975, but as far as advertising, I started doing that right around 1983 when I got in the insurance and investment business. Now, we used several different ways of marketing, totally different than a lot of people use, although you can use it in some businesses and a lot of businesses. We had a system where we would actually hire someone, work their warm market, make sales on insurance and mutual funds. And a lot of these people would end up quitting, but we would end up going through their list of names. They would make some good money, but maybe it wasn't the right business for them and they would get out of the business. Some would go on and make a lot of money, okay? That's how we grew our business. We recruited, we used to market based on recruiting, okay? So we would hire people, work their friends, their warm market, and then get referrals from those, okay? That was one way you can do that. Another way you can do it is that we used back then, and the ads were not that much. We would put ads in newspapers and things like this. Another way we would do it is when we would see someone that ended up buying our product or our service back then, we would end up hiring those people and then working those people's warm markets. So some of the people were actually referrals that we would bring in after we sold, and some of them were off ads that we ran in newspapers. Now, there are still people that use ads for these purposes, not as much today as they did years ago. Another way, a system we used was what's called bumps. We would go in restaurants, go to the gym or whatever, you meet somebody, talk to them for a few minutes, find out if they want to make some money, selling insurance, real estate, anything dealing with mutual funds, things like this. And then what we would do is work their warm market, and we would do that just by basically meeting them. Okay, everywhere you go, you bump into them, you meet them, and work their warm market. Another system we used is mail out leads. This was a system that a lot of people used back then. We used how to stop the tax on Social Security. It was a real unique system. It got tons of leads. We got like 5% leads. That's pretty high. And it cost us around $400 US per 1,000 that we mailed out. We used a bulk mailing system back then. Now, almost nobody uses mail anymore. I mean, I'm talking about regular slow mail at the post office. Back then, it was the big thing to use. But the problem is you got so much junk mail, people threw a lot of that stuff away. Now, if you get an envelope at all, you look at it more likely now because it will be like the soul Indian there. I mean, almost nobody gets any mail anymore. I still have a post office box. A lot of people have ditched them. I still keep it because I do have things once in a while that's sent by registered mail and stuff like this, so I have to keep it. And so that's why I have a post office box. And I do have once in a while I get something that comes in, but I'll tell you, now I'm a lot more likely to look at it than I was 30 years ago when I got 30 or 40 pieces of mail a day. So, but a lot of people have given up using it. And the cost too is pretty high, but if you use a bulk mail system, you can get it down pretty cheap. But don't give up. There are firms that still use a mail system, believe it or not, okay? At least you don't have spam files with a mail system, And emails, sending email blasting can be very, very costly too, depending on how you do it, okay? Now, things changed as 2000s, the early 2000s came along. Email blasting became a big thing. And then what happens is that as time went on, then they developed these spam files. So a lot of the emails went in people's spam box, and you really couldn't, like today, I still have emails that come in my spam box that I want to see. But you have that problem with the spam system, okay? So there's lots of emails that you send out that'll never get to the person where they'll read it, okay? That's the problem. And then when they do see it, a lot of times they just skip over it. I don't think I've ever bought anything through somebody shooting an email to me. I don't remember anything I've ever bought that way. There are a lot better ways to do it, I think, which I'm going to go through with you in just a minute. Now, YouTube started up around 2004, 2005, but really took off, a little bit later on. Nobody really looked that much at YouTube videos back, 2004, 2005. But after the email blasting took off, then Google clicks started coming out. Google went public around 2004, and they were taking over the rim from Yahoo, and they had these Google clicks. Now, Google clicks, I'm going to tell you, we used them. I've tried them, and I'll tell you the results from them. Back years ago, the way it works is you're in a bidding system. Okay, the way it works is you bid against everybody else that wants your type of industry, and you want clicks, you want ads coming in that people are going to click. And for my type of business in St. Kitts, it was $2 to $3 a click. So you can see you can run up $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 a month, easy. Google clicks to me didn't work. It was a bad system to use. Okay, and I'll tell you one reason Google clicks is not good. It's on a bidding system, and most people will bid up into the point they can't make money, and then they pull out. They don't run the clicks anymore. Some people will have a system that they will bid it way up, and they can still make money off the clicks. Okay, but Google is the one that really makes big bucks off this, because they know that everybody else is competing against them on bidding up the cost of the clicks. And it can be very, very expensive to do that. Now, 2010, this is about the time that YouTube really started to come into play, because they started getting a lot more people that viewed it. Let me tell you my story about YouTube. I used to want to try to get the old Amos and Andy tapes, the best comedians that ever lived back in the 1930s. And I never could get those tapes. And I asked my wife at that time, I said, how do I get these Amos and Andy tapes? I've looked everywhere. I cannot find them anywhere. She said, why don't you go on YouTube? I said, I didn't think about that. Went on YouTube video. They're all over the place. And instead of having to buy them, I'm getting them for free. Okay? So I started looking at this, and I said, there's a lot of things here on YouTube that I can't, all these old programs I used to like, I can't get these on cable. And all of a sudden, I noticed that I was looking at YouTube a lot more than I was cable TV. So 8 years ago, maybe 9 years ago, I just quit cable and saved $40 a month and went to YouTube that shows my interest. Remember, YouTube, when you turn it on, it shows the things that you're interested in first. When you turn on cable TV, it doesn't do that. You got to change the channels to get to the place you want to see. You end up wasting a lot of time. YouTube shows your interest as soon as you turn it on. So I started realizing this is a great means, a way to get information on YouTube. But it didn't really hit me that you can advertise this in your own business. Use it for your own business for advertising. And this is when it started hitting me at that point. Now, I'm going to tell you what really got me to the point where I saw that this was a great means to advertise. I had a problem with my eye. This was a good story that will kind of educate you on what switched me over to using YouTube. I had a real bad double vision problem for 10 years, man. It drove me nuts. And I could not find a way to get rid of it. I went to an ophthalmologist, optometrist. I went to a double vision doctor in Dubai, the U.S. They just could not figure out what it was. And finally one day I said, I found out about these Amos and Andy tapes on YouTube. Why don't I just go on YouTube? I'm going to put up eye flicker, double vision, and see what I bring up. And I also did this on Google. And remember, by the way, too, Google bought YouTube out, okay? So they made a smart move, because these are the things that people search for, that they want, is off Google, putting things on the website, on your website, that go out in the World Wide Web. And the other way is by people going and seeing things visually on YouTube. And within 5 minutes, I found out what the problem was with my eye. Thousands of people had this same problem, but none of these doctors could bring it up. I guess they're so busy making money, they didn't have time to go on YouTube and find out themselves. And I finally went back and told the doctor what was wrong and what was causing it. He never knew about this problem. And that is, I went on there and started finding out that all these people that had the same problem drank a lot of caffeine. You can get allergic to caffeine. Dark chocolate, eat a lot of dark chocolate, tea, coffee. It causes problems on your optic nerve. Coffee can cause glaucoma. Never had a doctor tell me this. I found it out on YouTube and Google clicking this stuff, okay? Within 5 minutes, it was all over the place, okay? So these are some things that it started educating me that I can solve a lot of my problems. I'm not saying don't go to doctors, but I can solve a lot of my problems that I can't find out by going on YouTube and doing Google searches, which you've probably found this out yourself. So then I started realizing, why not take the business I'm involved with? There are tons of people out there that want to find out information on whatever you're doing, okay? But you're making a huge mistake by basically doing almost no advertising at all. And if you're doing advertising, you're probably spending money to do the advertising, okay? Google doing scripts on your website, that's free. The problem with that, you really can't brand your product like you can YouTube. People see you over and over again on YouTube. They start seeing you consistently, and they start trusting you more, okay? Now, what this does is it leads to people doing business with you somewhere in the near future, or at least looking at your videos if you've got good video content. Now, let me tell you some things that you want to do if you're going to use YouTube. You don't have to do fancy videos, but there are some absolute things that you ought to try to do, okay? Your first videos are going to be bad. Just get used to that, okay? Almost everybody that starts off will do bad YouTube videos there at the very beginning. That's okay. That's natural. I mean, everybody's going to have that, okay? But there are some things that you want to do that are absolutes that you do want to correct on, and you do want to make your videos better as you go along. These are some things that you want to try to make sure that your YouTube video has. You want to have correct lighting, okay? You don't want to have dim videos. You need to keep your videos 4 to 10 minutes long, 20 minutes at the longest, okay? This video will be more than 10 minutes today, but you want to try to keep most of them 4 to 10 minutes, which in most cases I do. And also, you want to do your advertising for your video, which is I'm getting ready to do right now, and that is if you want to learn more on this, on legally getting your income taxes to zero and getting a second passport as quick as 45 days to do 3 things, hit the subscribe button on the right of your screen right here and the notification bell next to it. You get new videos every day. And number 2 is I would like to hear from you. If you got a question or comment, put it below. Number 3 is go to our website, www.citizenshipquickly.com, and ask for some help. You notice that I did that not at the very, very beginning. The first 8 seconds of your video is the most important. You don't want to be advertising the first 8 seconds. You want people to know how to contact you, but you want to do that after you get their interest and they're into what you're doing. That's the way you want to do your video. Don't change that. These are absolutes that you need to keep, okay? And make sure it's valuable content. I tell people, don't do YouTube videos to make money. You need to get involved with a hobby or something you enjoy doing to where you like teaching people to do it enough to where you would do it for free, okay? If you don't like something well enough to do that, don't do YouTube videos, okay? Because you won't be successful in it. You need to pick a subject. It doesn't have to be your business that you're doing. It could be a hobby. It could be, stamp collecting, coin collecting. It could be anything that you like, and it could be your business. But you need to go in and do YouTube videos based on that. I'm going to show you why that needs to be, because if you don't do that, you're not going to be successful. But it needs to be valuable content. And again, you need to make sure that people subscribe to your channel, because if you don't, you're going to have to wait for that person to find your video again. Remember, when they subscribe and they hit the subscription button, the right of the screen. What happens is now that person's, that video is going to show up every single day, or it's going to show on that page that you're interested in, and that person's not going to have to search out to try to find you, okay? So you want to make sure that you're getting your subscribers or your people that are looking at your videos to subscribe to your channel, and you're going to get some of your best advice from people that make comments on your videos, okay? Now, I have some people that make comments that are insulting, and I'll be honest with you, I put a total block on them because I don't monetize my station. I don't need that, and I just cut them right off. I like constructive criticism. It helps me. People want to see a video maybe that they want to get more information on. I'll write that down, might not do it right away. Sometimes I've got those videos already up. Some people are just too lazy to go through all the videos to find them, but you might have to do that to find it because a lot of videos I've already got subjects probably you're already interested in, okay? But I do like people giving me comments because this is where I can pick up good things and I can change things that normally I would not change, and I do like that. What I don't want and what I won't accept is insults. And I will put a block on notifications. If I can take you off the channel, I'll do it in a minute. I don't need it. I've got plenty of money. So that's one thing I don't put up with are insults at all. Now, also, you ought to put in your website, they need to have some sort of contact. If you want to put your WhatsApp number, you can do that. That's up to you. But you need to have some sort of way they can contact you outside of the notifications on YouTube. And you know, when you do your YouTube videos, like I said, again, the first 8 seconds, you need to make sure that that is not advertising, okay? You need to make sure that first 8 seconds is getting right into the content, okay? I can't tell you how important that is, that I see a lot of people don't do. Another thing, too, that I want to tell you, too, is a lot of people, what they'll do is they'll do their videos and they spend too much time trying to spiff up their videos and make them look really fancy. I've seen videos that were 8, 9 years old that were just incredibly spiffy, smooth, nice, all kinds of details, all kinds of things added to it. And then that was the only video the person ever did. You know, while they spent so much time doing the video and they got no results from it, they go, man, I don't want to put all that time in or paying this person to do that video again. I'm going to tell you the secret of doing YouTube videos, okay? It's not the fancy videos. It's taking good content with the steps I told you before, okay? They're short videos, and doing them once a day for at least a year or once every other day, at least for a year. Now, most people won't do that. This is why they quit doing YouTube videos, okay? They will not commit to that. It took me 4 months, I bet, to get my first subscriber. 4 months I went by. At least 4 months, okay? And it'll take even longer to get your first sale, okay? So these are some things, this is what pushes 80, 90% people out from doing YouTube videos. If you ever go and look at YouTube videos, you'll see some really professionally done YouTube videos, and they've got almost no views on it. And they'll have, or if they do have views on it, you'll notice it was only because it was 7 or 8 years ago. And they've got almost 0 subscribers. This is the key. You can have a low content of people looking at your videos, but what you do want to do is get your subscribers in the thousands, okay? Because if you do that, your video is going to be coming up to those people. They might not be looking at it the next day, but you're on their subscriber list, okay? So now what's going to happen is, or they're on your subscriber list, and they're going to be coming up on your videos. As soon as they turn on YouTube, they're going to be coming up on YouTube at the very front because they are a subscriber on your station. You need to get them to do that, and a lot of these YouTubers do not ask for that. It's important you do that. And this is why most people quit doing YouTube videos. They just don't last doing them. But the key is to doing one video every day, or one video every other day, at least for a year. Keep it 4 to 10 minutes long, and go by the other steps that I've given you. Now, some other things that you want to also take into consideration is I don't think it's real important that you monetize if you can make money in your business. I'm against monetizing. In most cases, my videos, as you'll notice, are not monetized. One of the reasons I don't do that, I don't like advertisements myself, okay? And, so I have chosen not to monetize it. Now, there are ways you can make it off your product and your service. Okay, that's the way I've done my business, okay? And some people make it off selling souvenirs. And then you've got people that network with other YouTubers, and they'll get subscribers off their list, and vice versa. They'll switch back and forth in getting subscribers. This is another way you can build your business. But this is the system you ought to use. It's the wave of the future. There's 8 billion people in the world. Folks, you can do YouTube videos and your business as well in St. Kitts where there's no income tax, no capital gains tax, no estate tax, no inheritance tax. Property tax almost doesn't even exist. Just as well in St. Kitts as you can in New York City, where you lose half your money out in income taxes, where the weather's cold all the time, okay? Except during June, July, and August. I would rather do it in a place where there's no income tax. To me, it's a lot easier to do it that way. You're more motivated to run your business because the government's not taking half your money. Folks, if you want to learn more on this, again, go to our website, www.citizenshipquickly.com. Hit the top bar that says apply with us, fill out the questions. Hit that bottom bar that says send it to us. We deal with over 100 citizenship by investment countries in the world. And I would like to hear from you. If you got a question or comment, put it below. And folks, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. The right of your screen right here. You get new videos automatically as they come out. We got over 700 videos. This is where you pick up good tips to help you in running your business, picking the right location, and cutting your costs down. And I look forward to talking to you in the next video. Take care.